Hey yo, welcome to episode 5 of the Ample Sample podcast. As usual, there's going to be links to resources and videos we watched on the playlist description, and there's also going to be a link to the episode playlist with all the songs we listened to for your listening pleasure. Enjoy.
Wait, are we just starting like this?
Yeah.
Marvin Sapp dropped an R&B album, I think at the end of last year.
What's it called?
I'm not wrong. I'm checking right now.
I need to start having like a whole setup where or on one corner of my screen and I can just be clacking so I can be seeing what's going on because my phone is not enough. But
Yeah, true. We looking. I was thinking about that the other day. He dropped an EP February 14th. If I were an R&B singer.
I think I remember when this dropped. Briefly. Oh,
Yeah.
did Kirk Franklin do something similar?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to Ample Sample episode 5. It's just Toby and I on this episode, but still maintaining the quality, still keeping up with consistency. 10 episode anniversary coming soon. Toby, how are you?
It's not coming soon. I have
It's
6
coming
more. For 6.
We have
6
5 more episodes. If this is episode 5, we have 5 more.
Damn, but it's not out.
7,
But are we
8,
talking
9,
as if it's
10.
out?
What's this episode 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because anybody listening to this is, apart
True,
from us,
true.
is out now.
True.
And relative to where we started, it's coming soon.
Yeah. Fair.
Episode 1 was 2022.
Don't
Even
say
though
that
2023 actually.
online.
2022.
It was this year.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, now. What's crack-a-lacking, guys? Missed y'all.
Everything is fine. No, thank you. I was putting together my notes for today's episode, and I was just like, what have I actually been? Do you know this is actually pushing me to listen to more stuff? I'm not like, oh, I have to get on my Zoom and be listening, but there's just an increased verve, and
Yeah.
when I was putting together the things, I was happy. And people are just dropping a lot this year. Like Naonte with Mumble Man, Veda dropped another EP that's really nice. Sad Girl was cute.
Demon
on
Dance
TikTok.
as well. I like that one.
Yeah. There's one more. Funny in the cover was her shooting or her not her. The person shot somebody and the girl is in the bed and everything. I think it's what's it called? Put Your Clothes On. And I'll go over the lyrics again, but that's not the vibe I got from the songs, which was interesting. That one was cool. Small
Oh, yeah.
last month.
Continue.
Before what? Oh, you wanted to talk about Veda? Oh, go.
No, it wasn't Vida. It was Verve. I was still see. Can you define that for the people that don't know what that means?
Gusto. When someone asks me to define a word, I'll just say it or that's synonym. But verve is the intensity with which you do something. So if you're doing something with verve, you're you're passionate, you're in it, you're locked in It's for the youth. But people know what verve is now. Speaking of verve,
Yeah, I don't know.
so love Ope sponsors. What's Beyoncé? Yeah.
Okay, I've listened to so much. I've listened to so much this past week. Not even this past. Okay, yeah, this past. It's a new month, I guess. But yeah, I've listened to lots of new music this month. Let me even check. I have to check.
You were just telling me about Floetry and the
Yeah. I've
One
been
of the
procrastinating. I've been procrastinating listening to Marshawn Bridges for a long time because I liked her on one old Kanye song, The One. But yeah, what has to?
Do you remember what song it was?
The One, yeah. The song is called The One.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to
No, but yeah, I revisited Noah Guy's EP, You Must Be Loved. That was pretty nice. Also, Pawn Shop by Kara Jackson. That new Ijoya EP is nice. There's this girl named Jalen Josie that I found on TikTok. She dropped this snippet of an electronic dance sounding song, but all her other songs kind of sound like Summer Walker / pop / I don't know how to explain it. It's
like
kind
Sailor?
of no, Like imagine like southern pop, like somebody from the south making pop. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like it's nice. Like generally, it's music I wouldn't listen to, but I enjoyed it. Jada's album for the 3 Daydream and a bunch of jazz, man. Yeah, a lot of jazz. I was listening to this Brazilian. I don't know if he's Brazilian, but it's called Worlds Around the Sun. I don't remember where I found him from, but it's called Bayete.
The Jada's album, is it the one that came out like last month or 2 months ago?
Yeah,
he dropped another one
very
since
recently.
then. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
that was
and then
that was
some
my-
old mic stuff as well.
and he
what's
dropped
some
that
of
EP. That you sent
Resistance
me.
Man. I've been listening to Resistance Man. That's 2018.
Renaissance Man.
Resistance Man. It was before Renaissance Man.
Hands up.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to
A lot of
ask
bounce.
yeah, and that's the meat of today's episode. But I was going to ask about you mentioned Ijoya.
Mm.
Are you talking about like the Ijoya or like another?
No, I don't know
That's
if it's
the person's
pronounced
name.
Ijoya, but it's like Ejoya. And I think it might be a record label, but Shano is a collective in Nige. They make really good music. They drop like an album every year or so. I don't know if they dropped one last year, but like they drop like you know how Cash Money would drop an album or like a big boy record, like a big boy.
Like
drop
good
it.
music and cruel summer.
Yeah, like good music, yeah. Like that kind of thing. Like that's what they do every year. God, it's quite wonderful. Like 2022 was crazy, 2021 was crazy. They just dropped an EP and it was also crazy. There was this song that was like kind of like a house Jersey type thing, Angel on the Phone. Great stuff.
I don't even want to bring. I mentioned cruel summer. And I'm just like I shouldn't even bring that up. And then
I
it
don't
made me
talk
think
about that
about.
man this episode. I'll be on this podcast. I can't even
No. Oh, it's because, and the thing is that like I normally even would, but today, like just the day we're recording, I just saw some stuff and I was like, why is this on my and the Kiki Palmer tweet you sent me, and I was like, that just made me laugh because this guy was on the first song. But anyways, yeah, I mean on my end, I started listening to Doris. I mean you were there in March when I came to Show Love in Houston, but I started listening to Doris and yeah, I started listening to him last month.
Who's Doris?
With the artist. So he actually has a song with Nayonte on Dante's
Oh,
Inferno.
that guy.
Yes. And I liked the way he sounded on that. So I was like, okay, let's check this out. And I'd done that before, but I didn't like obviously start listening. I was procrastinating. And I started with Ultimate Love Songs Collection. And it's like 40 songs deep. But like I don't think any of them are longer than a minute and a half. So listening to it goes by really, really quickly. And it was really fun. I enjoyed that. And then I went to his Instagram and I saw that he actually makes art as well. And when I looked at his art, I was like, this looks familiar. And he did the cover for No Name's last album. So that was a nice little
That's crazy
connection. Yeah. Multidisciplinary artist, man. And I didn't even finish on my Small Lee because last month was the month of the Lees as well. Because there was Small Lee and there was Cindy Lee. And that was a whole other rabbit hole where Cindy Lee is actually like a alter ego for this artist called Patrick Fleagle. And the art that they make or the music that they make is through Cindy Lee, and they have maybe like 2 albums on streaming, and then they now dropped an album last year that's only on YouTube. And apparently all those like Rate Your Music guys, like all the music heads really love that album. Everybody like I asked one of my friends about it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like the community was going crazy over this." I was like, "Which okay?" And on Pitchfork, it's like rated pretty highly, and it's a nice album. I listened to it last week, and it was pretty nice. So Cindy Lee, cute music.
I've never heard of this person before. I don't think.
It was one of those things where you're on Spotify and you just see random album art, and I just saw the art and the cover looked interesting. So I was like, okay, let's try this, and it was there were some songs that I really really enjoyed. I will look for the names super quick. No, I like Just for Loving. Just for Loving
album?
You, I Paid the Price. Oh, Let's see what album I listened to.
Black and White or Red and White?
What's Tonight's to Eternity, exactly. I enjoyed that's the album I listened to. And then the one that's only on YouTube is called Golden Jubilee, I think it's called. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's called Golden Jubilee. So yeah, that's been what I've been into so far. And then obviously in preparation for like the stuff we have coming soon, some bounce. That was nice. And then I'll get into what I enjoyed about that. And also for the unique women singers, that's coming out soon. Or it should already be out by the time this episode comes. Exactly. So doing the writing for that. Amen. Going back to listen to Buika, Elsa Suarez. Very, very nice stuff. I need to Buika. I need
to lock down my artist
for the slideshow.
No, just for the playlist in general.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into borrowing from. Yeah.
We still have to do Us to You.
Do who?
Us to You.
Oh, like talk. Oh, okay.
Okay.
What about it?
To begin, I wanted to say, man, I have a lot of friends that are hopefully watching this thing that constantly ask me for playlists. I'm finding new, like, oh, where do you find new music? Oh, can you make me a playlist, some new music? Oh, can you make me a playlist? I have this for a reason. Like, I can't make playlists for so many people. Like, the music is there. Like, there must be at least one song that you like. Like, just listen to the playlist.
This one said, guys, like, there's a lot of requests. Just go on Us to You. It's right there.
No,
but that has to, and it's nice.
This is a public service.
And it's not even like, I don't even think it's like, oh, our music taste is so crazy. But it's like these are people that enjoy music, and it's like, this is what we found this month. Like, what's the harm? There'll be something there that you like. You hear something, you'll be like, oh fuck, like.
You said, why did you follow us
nice.
if you're not going to listen to the playlist?
Do you get? I don't know. If you're the homie, just shuffle. If right, you can make a deal. If after 3 songs you're like, I'm not fucking with this. Okay, thank you for trying.
DM me.
I highly doubt. As in, but I think we're taking feedback on Us to You. Like, if it's actually, I feel like I'm all for people like expressing themselves and post your art and everything. But if you really feel like the art that somebody is making is disturbing you, or you interacted with it and you're just like, no, I did not enjoy this for these reasons. I think that's, let me not say as valid, but it is valid. We should critique and talk about things that we don't like refine your taste. Like, I'm not saying shit on things, but if you don't like something, pinpoint it, share it, and we'll take I'll take the feedback. What made you smile?
There's so many things, man. I don't even want to get into that.
I know how you feel about critiquing, and I'm just like, I think we just need to all calm down. We need to all relax.
I don't like how you said that. Like, I did critique. Like, I don't have any problems with critiquing.
Which is why whenever I'm talking about how just call a spade a spade, I'm always surprised that your I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for. Lack of allegiance to my take, to my stance.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened to the playlist yet, which I probably should have. Honestly, I don't know why I put that in the segments, but like, I'm thinking about the songs I added. Esgod, Favorite Girl. Honestly, Esgod is amazing, man. Like, easily my favorite Nigerian rapper. I don't know. I just think
her real name Shion. I wasn't even trying to be silly. I think I was just like, I'm curious.
No, I don't know. I think people, like, her friends call her Sedi because she says that a lot. I don't know what her name is, but I know she's like, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but like, she's from the south of Nigeria.
Okay.
My mom's people share. I'm not sure exactly where she's from. Well, I guess the name is from there. We Invented Love. Also, shout out to Boioioing as well for like telling us what his favorite song was. Like, are you guys afraid to talk to us?
Guys,
are you afraid? Don't be shy. I'll respond. Watered Down by Mike. Honestly, like showbiz has grown on me so much since the last time we talked about it on an episode. Like, man, I'm just glad. I'm thankful for Michael Bonema and DJ Black Power because what he's doing in production right now is insane.
That watered down sample, I just feel like I'm in France. I'm in France, Paris. It's very nice. It's cute.
And then Reckless Game by Von Black. This TikTok, she's not a TikTok star, but like I've been seeing her on my For You page a lot, and I just started listening to her music, and I was like, wow, this is some good, like some good R&B and soul music. Yeah, and then
do you know?
Yeah.
No, keep going.
I think I'm done, honestly.
I'm actually glad you made us talk about Us to You, because I was like, this is really our platform to just pitch, why the songs that at least we picked are there. Because I'm looking at the songs I picked and I'm just like, wow, I really have the space to like state a case. I put in Painted Reflections by Sporting Life. I know how you feel about Sporting Life, but this when I heard this Painted Reflections song, because I feel that there's some artists that I tried listening to, let's say between 2018 and 2022, and I didn't like them. But something about I've noticed that a lot of I think with everyone, taste evolves over time. So there's some things I just go back and revisit. When I went back to this Sporting Life album, Painted Reflections feels like I'm getting ready for war. It was just talking about like art and how sometimes you can make art to
recession indicator
as like it's like a vessel for you to convey your emotions, but it's you. Anyway, Painted Reflections, amazing. Furry sings the blues. I feel like every single thing we've put out that I've had a hand on, I found a way to insert the song. So I don't want to talk too much about it, but the subject matter was really interesting to me. It's like a town that's being I would say gentrified, because and it's like at the midway points where you still have the last stragglers of what the city used to be, and then you now have people coming in or visiting. Or I would either call it a city in the middle of gentrification, or a city that is like slowly losing its glamour. So yeah, very interesting topic, and the pace and cadence of the song, so beautiful, so tasty. You put Girls Them Sugar in there. I feel like that song is really cute. I want to hear that thing a lot this summer.
Yeah. I think
listen to that in the car.
Maya is really good. Like I didn't know who she was before this, but I busy Maya. Yeah, it's Maya.
Yeah.
She's good, man. Like I'm going to tap in very soon.
And then I also started watching Succession, but I've grown out of that phase, man, because that's just rich white people being delusional, and I don't know. At the point it gets triggering, so I stopped.
Are they even being delusional? Or they just living their life?
No, guys, delusion. Because, and let me not even say delusion, but they're not on our plane of reality, if that makes any sense. Like, there are some things that they don't view issues as issues because it doesn't affect them. Like, it's like,
so that's just their reality.
Exactly. So that's why I said. So that's why I said it's not even delusion. They're not on our plane of reality. So I can't. At the point, I'm just like, this is not fair, because it's just I don't like. And then there's a Doris song in there. I've already given my spiel on Doris and Joni Mitchell. Joni Mitchell is amazing. Tap in. Joni Mitchell is wow. She has a live concert on YouTube where she performs a selection of songs. Let me look for what that's called real quick. And you can actually, it's on Spotify as well. So whatever your flavor is. Exactly. I think it's called Shadows and Light Live. Lovely stuff. So, and more on Us to You, because Omarizo and Ehe also added their own things. They also have very solid cases for why those songs are there. It's the songs we cherished the whole of the month. So there's love and intention put into that place.
I didn't even add any piano song. Next time.
Was there a reason? Are there some times where there's some songs that like you listen to a lot, but is too close to what you already normally listen to, so you're like, let me keep this one?
It's not necessarily that way, like something of that nature, where like I won't add an piano song to Us to You just because like you've probably heard it, like our audience has probably heard it somewhere, or just like this is not what you're looking for. This is not looking for it. And like this way these songs tend to be long, like it might be off-putting. to someone. Like I would
Exactly.
want to put a song that you can just like psh.
Mm-hmm. I definitely worry about length when I'm making or when I'm adding songs to the playlist. So I try and keep it cute. Like 4 minutes is the most I'll put you guys through. But
Anyways, okay.
let's get into
Yeah.
the meat. You guys, I have an interface that has like a sound pad. Don't worry, very soon. That meat and potatoes. We'll add it when it's time to go into like our topics for the day. Just put meat and potatoes and just play it.
Okay. Yeah. Today's topic, or one of today's topics, is bounce music, and our segue into that was Ashake and SARS. I like to say Ashake and SARS instead of Ashake and Travis Scott, because Travis Scott did his thing, yeah, fine, but like SARS is the real magician in terms of creating what that song was. Honestly, I think SARS is an amazing DJ. Like his sets on YouTube, he does some crazy things, but like an amazing DJ, an amazing producer. Like I don't know, that song I've never been so excited for an Afrobeat song. Like maybe the most before that song was like some Naira Marley in 2019, something like that. But it was such a crazy song for me, because I was like it was a bounce sample I knew by her Sizzle. He's also like he's like a really popular bounce artist or whatever. But yeah, like bounce music was something I was, I'd always like flirted with the thing, because maybe not flirted, because before that song I was listening to bounce already. Like it wasn't a new thing to me anymore. But like before that, I'm even trying to remember like what would I say is my first encounter with bounce music. Or if you can remember your own, let us know.
With the bounce spirit. I feel it sucks to say it, and I realized it when I was watching the documentary. My first one was actually during when I was still going to elementary school in Lagos. Why did I say that? Like I moved to America halfway through. Anyways, when I was in elementary school, we used to do these end of term shows, and they did this one where it was like dances from around the world, and they picked the USA, and there's a song that they made us dance for hip hop was "Ball" by T.I. featuring Lil Wayne, and
that's crazy.
It was about they had to. It's so funny how a lot of that song was just instrumental, because there's just so much swearing in it. I don't know why they picked it.
Yeah.
But when I was now watching the documentary, that you have a reading list, a required viewing before this episode exactly. When I heard the beats, I was like, oh shit, this is exactly what I was hearing when I was listening to Ball. And then having Lil Wayne on that thing, it gave me so much context. It added to my context for like Lil Wayne, because I knew he was from New Orleans, but then I didn't associate him with bounce, and it was just like kind of nice to see how pervasive isn't what I want to use, ubiquitous bounce is to New Orleans artists, because like when you hear Lil Wayne's like I did not like T.I.'s part on that song, but Lil Wayne's verse just flowed so much better, and it makes sense because that's his city's music.
So we need to start having a word of the pod.
Okay. So are we going ubiquitous for this one?
I think Verve.
Oh, Verve. Okay, let's do Verve.
Today's word of the pod is Verve. But yeah, continue.
Okay. Did you notice that? Okay, so the required viewing that we did for this podcast was season 4, episode 1 of Hip Hop Evolution
on Netflix,
and that's where they kind of on Netflix, and that's where they kind of got into bounce music. And in the spirit of critiquing, what did you like about the documentary?
I like that they talk to everybody, like even the guys that are not, super blown right now. Like I like that they covered everything.
I feel, the episode, the season came out in when, like this year or last year?
No, a long time ago, I think. Like
season
I watched this thing a long time ago, like for the first time.
Oh wow, okay. Because the thing is, okay, so I live in Louisiana, the home state of bounce music. So a lot of the music I was hearing into was stuff where I'm like, oh, okay, I've heard this at a tailgate, or what's it called, different parties that they have here when they're doing strolls exactly, for the D9 fraternities and sororities. And one thing that like I feel like the documentary didn't touch on was the queer influence on bounce
true.
music, or like how like queer communities have like adopted it, because a lot of the bounce music I hear when I like seek it out is almost exclusively by like a queer artist or a
I
femme
don't think
artist, and it's like,
influence. I don't think influence is a fair
yeah, I didn't want to say
word.
influence. That's why I said that's why I changed it to how like the queer community has adopted it recently. Or no,
It's not
let me
it's
not,
not
I don't want to say
recent, though.
recently. Exactly.
It's
Let
not
me not even say
recently.
recently.
Just say it's an
The-
important part. Yes.
It's an important part, exactly. It's an
Yeah.
important part that I don't think it touched on.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they did mention some artists, like they did a shout out to Gangsta Boo. And I remember there was
And Big
one
Freedia
person
as
that was a
well.
part of Big Frida. There was someone that was a part of Master P's label that I'm forgetting at the moment. I'm blanking. So there was some mention, but compared to like the playlist, like Liv has a playlist of bounce music, and it's like nobody there. But I mean, I guess they're all new and they're actually small artists. So
I think
you know,
I think okay. So when I listen to Liv's playlist, right, I feel like her playlist is not a great representation for this topic because most of those artists are new and pretty young.
Mhm.
Yeah, but like I definitely agree that like they didn't touch as much on like the queer and like women artists that
Are
you
a
know
part
that
of
like
bounce
that
music.
builds what bounces today.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would like to understand why. I guess we may have a framework for why, but like let's see, sure. But yeah, I talked about that in the podcast. Like yeah, even from that, did you finish that small YouTube documentary, the other one I sent you?
I started it. I stopped when I started talking about partners in crime. Partners in crime.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
listening to them today. They have some interesting stuff. But yeah, they talked about there was this guy that was talking about I think this thing was done a long time ago because it released in like 2012 or something. And he was talking about how that yeah, like even like gay people or gay guys in the context he said it like are able to like thrive in like making bounce music as public figures, which obviously wasn't very common for any part of hip hop anywhere, until very recently. And even recently there's still some there's still homophobia and like weird feedback.
Therefore.
Yeah.
I think there was an argument that or a point that one of the artists that were speaking made, where it was like the important thing with bounce music, or what made it so like popular, was you play something and the girls like it, and wherever like girls flock to, or like
Mhm.
they listen to, men will obviously follow, and then you just have like the community there.
Mhm.
So and I feel with other parts of hip hop, this is not obviously speaking for, it's not a monolith obviously, but I find there's a lot of focus on like the penmanship and how good you are at like building.
Mhm.
Like a lot of the building blocks for scaring the whole music is just like music that you hear in like cyphers, where it's just people like rhyming and like coming up with these complex similes and stuff. That's what you're seeing on like the East Coast and like parts of like the West Coast. But with bounce, it's just like a good beat and like an MC like keeping the crowd going, engaged, dancing. So I feel like that it would make sense that queer people and women have a platform to join in and like participate, because it's like, can you have people moving? Can you make something catchy? Then yeah, like
Also,
the barriers are
that group only responds to movement.
no, I'm saying no, the audience. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not even doing this with you. You know what I'm saying? And before we even getting into like bounce as like we know it now, I like how they kind of gave a short lesson on New Orleans and why the black community there is so, what makes the black community there so
That
unique to like other
pronunciation
parts of
was
no, guy, don't distract me. And just about how because a lot of the laws surrounding the regulation of how enslaved people could interact with each other, they were so lax compared to other parts of the South. They were really allowed to like build out their cultures. And I remember going to New Orleans last year, and when I was driving around, something about it felt very familiar. Like I don't know, I can't. I'll have to go again to like fully like process why, but I don't know. It was nice being there, and like with the music as well. Like bounce music is very, something
welcoming.
about it is just so, it's welcoming. It's like nice. It's like everybody just gets involved and is moving. Like it's very, It's nice. Like the emphasis on like drumming and like chanting. I was listening to one of the songs and it reminded me of different genre. And this was a very very basic link. But you know, one corner. Like when that song came out in secondary school,
Yeah.
and it's just like walk on and because the one guy was describing how people are just twerking on like tables, cars everywhere. Like whenever you say one corner in class, like guys are grabbing tables, people, chairs, and just like going crazy. So seeing the parallels even in the music and like the chants, like even with like something like Lahore recently with Charlie Poppy, where it's just like very basic lyrics and it's just you're seeing something similar over and over again, but like it's about the connection.
Yeah, I think it was In My Feelings because I heard that was the first time I also heard JT rap and I was like, oh wow, who is this? And then like just everything together. And I think Big Freedia had a part on that song as well. And then to call back to like the origins of bounce, right? Beyonce's album Renaissance. When I was what's the name of that song? Church Girl. There's a part where like I don't remember. Yeah, she does use bounce beats and like she also samples DJ Jimmy's Where They At, which is like apparently the most popular bounce sample. You've probably heard something from like everywhere, like Nelly's. No, is it Nelly? Yeah, Nelly's Tip Drill. Honestly, the songs and like there's a Cardi B song that I don't remember. There's a Lil Wayne song. I don't remember which one it is. It's on Kata 5 Sha. And like a bunch of other really popular songs that have sampled that song. But like Beyonce's song just really excited me, especially with like the song starts off as like you know normal Beyonce like singing and then we now get into her like rapping on the bounce beats and I'm just like, man, this is music. Like I remember there was I had a post on IG that was just my face and that song as like the king just because I was like, this is just a wonderful song, man. Like the world has to know that I love this song.
And that's just how it makes you. I remember times where I was in someone's car here and we're going to like a club or a bar and I'm just like, I don't want to do this because it's a small city, it's like predominantly white, but it's like just hearing the bounce music, it just wakes you up. You're like, this is what I needed. It picks you up. I do find that there are times where it's like the repetition gets like a lot for my head, but like it takes a while before it gets there. I also noticed that, you know, in comparing the music that they brought up in the documentary, like you mentioned that DJ, they also mentioned Juvenile, who was a part of the rap group that Lil Wayne was in, and backed that ass up. Hot Boys, and backed that ass up. And I heard the intro and I was like, Drake has washed this thing, and I found that like, yeah, he used it for Practice from Take Care in My Feelings. And there's another Child's Play as well. So he employed bounce music throughout his discography. So that was
I kind of like Drake is top team, man. Like as much as the guys, you know, like he's top team.
Colonizers sync, but then it's because of the Cash Money, Young Money, Cash Money links now.
Yes.
That's another thing where I talked about, you know, filling out the context that I grew up with, because obviously my brothers used to love Young Money, and I knew Young Money. Like Young Money and Cash Money had different artists. So Drake, Lil Wayne, Nicki, and Young Lloyd. There were some other people. Gotta. It also just watch Bedrock Shine. You see Young Money there. And then Cash Money was Birdman. Lil Wayne was a part of Cash Money as well. And then a bunch of other people.
Yeah, I think.
Seeing like how that started as a label first before Young Money, and like how Lil Wayne kind of like carried that torch on was very interesting. Also, they were calling the person that they were calling Baby in that game, that's Birdman now, Abi.
Yeah.
I did not know. So that's another thing where I was just like, I'm just young in this thing, because I was like, I know this person as Birdman. Like, who is Baby?
Yeah, because the first time I found out like people called him Baby, right? It was, I don't remember. I think it's Drive Slow by Kanye, where he's like, and now it's just a Shad Town version of Baby, and I was like, who is Baby? And then I found that was when I was like, oh, that's Birdman. I was like, oh, fair, it's okay. I'm a young guy.
Exactly, like we're really young in this, but then
even he has an album on Spotify that's like under the name Baby instead of Birdman, which is also interesting.
Yeah, and again, just on Lil Wayne, they mentioned him first getting like involved with rap at like 10, 11.
Yeah, he was like 13.
And just the amount of work that he's put in since then. So you have Hot Boys and then the mixtape, so like the whole Carter series, and then the album where Truck Fit era, and then from Truck Fit era, it's like I was about to when he started playing with the guitar, but there's a guitar and Lollipop. But I don't know. He just had so many eras, and he's made like good music. People, a lot of people make the case for how he's like one of the best rappers ever, and in terms of consistency and outputs, the locks may be scary now, but there was a time where they were popping,
Abby,
So that
to
was
get
cool.
there, he climbed.
Exactly. To get that's just wear and tear. I think that's just the price you pay for like putting so much in. Like it just shows on you. So that was I enjoyed the documentary like quite a bit, and then I would say the interactions with Bounce I had that were more like intentional, where I was like seeking it. I was like outside of just being in Louisiana, was actually with you when you played a Magnolia Shorty song. I don't think it was Charlie Wop. I think it was something else.
Smoking Gun, yeah.
Yes, and that was so good. I was
Smoking
like,
Gun is crazy. That was the one that
I
Jake
need to take
sampled
my
on
time.
Nice for What, I think.
I was like, I need to take my time and get into this. Did you notice how as in the more like, again, I understand Lizzo may not be a good, or is not a good representation of like the whole of Bounce. But I found that the more recent beats are like stripped back. Like it's very like you hear the sample, but once the sample goes, it's just the beats. Whereas like for the old ones, you hear a lot of like the xylophone that do.
I think those are 808s.
The reason why I said xylophone so confidently is because on the subtitles, where they put the audio description, they said xylophone, and it makes sense. Like if you think about like the what's it called, but yeah, so that xylophone intro, the accompaniment with the beat, that's gone now. It's just like pure bass, which I like. I mean, I appreciate both of them, but like the strip, but that was an interesting difference that I noticed. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, I think they're still there. I think it depends on the artist, but yeah, you're right. We don't have as much of like the 808s now as before.
Instruments, the 808s are still there now. Like that's the kick that you're hearing.
Is 808 not that one that is like it's like high? I mean, it can be high. Cause when do you know I'm saying 808 because of when I was watching a documentary, right, Master P was Manny Fresh was talking about like how because I don't know if he or he essentially like was one of the first people to make a bounce track in terms of like the instrumentals. He said like the main things was like the 808s, the break beats, I mean the brown beats or the break beat, one of them. And but yeah, I think it was those two things. And like I went to like Roland's website to try like their 808 simulator, and like that was what it sounded like to me. So I don't know, maybe in my brain I'm confusing the drums.
Yeah, because I mean, before we even, I don't know, man, because I need to. That's the drum machine now.
Yeah.
So the kick. I mean, okay, so exactly. That's why I'm like. I mean, we might both be right because it's a drum machine. So depending on what you're playing on the machine, you will hear different sounds. So yeah. Another thing that I look at, because the sound is can be very similar in terms of like the beats you hear. Something I usually look out for with it, like the voices of people that are singing. So I like wrote down some of the names like Sizzle. You mentioned Sizzle because Drake sampled one of his songs. And
no, that was
Flyboy
Ashake.
Kino. Sizzle was Ashake. I think Drake did one as well because I was looking at Genius.
Maybe
we'll check VAR. And then Flyboy Kino and Code Brat. Those are some voices I really, really enjoy. They sounded nice. Because I find that sometimes they also use bounce to like like there's one where they were talking about where throughout the thing the person is just rapping about how it's like don't let me catch that, don't let me catch you, and it was just different embarrassing situations. That was funny as fuck. I really enjoyed listening to that.
Honestly, like I love how much liberty they take on the songs to just say any and everything. Like
wild shit.
They'll say every and anything, and then they don't see it on like the beat of a song that's like super popular. And I'm like, how did they clear this? Like, how is this one? How is this one streaming?
I've been thinking about this thing where like I think depending on the size of the song, they don't play it because then you have to be aware as the artist that your song is being used now, Abby. So I'm just like, if they don't know, then you're probably good. Because again, you're right. It's like how do you send a song like that to whoever it is and be like, oh, can I use this? And it's you're rapping about how it's like, don't let me catch like your dad like gambling and losing all your money, or like that you. There was one of us like, don't let me catch you wearing butt implants. Don't let me catch you like having fake booty meats. Like it's wild. And I feel like the fact that they like lean on such or go to such extremes adds to like the energy that like you feel when you're listening to the song. Because like everybody's acting up.
That's a nice segue to like what's like something that really interests me about bounce music is like they just sample every and anything. Like you can hear like 10, like it can be a 3-minute song and you hear a sample of 10 songs you know from somewhere else. Like I think the original Smoking Gun, Magnolia Shorty sampled God, what's that song? You know Rocky the movie? You know the montage where he's like training and running? That song that's like how does it go
Tiger.
How do you sing it?
Dun, dun,
yes.
dun, dun.
No, I'm not sure if it's that one. No, it's not that one. It's like I don't know how to say it, but like that song is in there, and I was just like, we just finished talking about something extremely awesome. Yes. Yeah,
okay,
like just
maybe I got the song names wrong.
The craziest or most most outlandish song, like just songs that you shouldn't put together, or like they'll have like a bounce remix of like Beyoncé songs, or just plenty of R&B songs. Like there are a bunch of bounce R&B mixes that I really love. Like there's one, I think it's Dangerous in Love, Abby. Is that the name of the album? Drunk in Love, Abby. Which one is the song?
Album? Okay, so those are two different eras. Drunk in Love is like
Kanye,
post 2010s. With Jay-Z.
Kanye is only now. There's a remix.
Who's talking about that one? Talking about the way his husband talking about knacking now.
Okay.
Which one's the one with Kanye on it?
There is a remix of that one.
We don't recognize that one in the Hive. I think I know what you're talking about, Sha. But then there's Crazy in Love, which is from what album is that on?
I think that's Dangerous in Love.
I want to say the album name is Dangerously in Love.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that one. I was about to say I Am Sasha Fierce, but I think I'm wrong.
No, you're wrong.
Dangerously in Love. Okay, I'll take.
Yeah, Dangerously in Love is okay. It's a song. Yeah. It's a song called
Dangerously in Love is the song.
Yes, and the
by
album
Beyoncé
name as well. Yes, song.
And then there's Crazy in Love again. Is Crazy in Love in that album as well?
No, that's the one with the pink tiny pink text.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so behind on Beyonce. Like, and I also don't care to catch up. I can't even lie.
So are you sorry?
No, I'm just like I'm sorry that I don't know. The names of
the different albums. Oh yeah, that's fine. They're quite a couple. I think so. After a while, they kind of for me, what makes it easy to remember is because there's different songs that just like stay with you, and you're like, okay, I know, like Kitty Cat and B-Day, Drunk in Love and. I don't know the name of this one. Oh, self-titled Beyoncé.
I only know Toby Mac and Lecrae. I was not listening to all these guys on there dropping music.
I don't even know who Toby Mac and Lecrae are. Lecrae sounds familiar. Man.
Anyways.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you sent me the Essence bounce. Remix. So that was nice.
She also has a like remix of Sprung by T-Pain, yes, which is one of my favorite T-Pain songs. Like that song also Davido also sampled that song on One Thing, wonderful song. But yeah, she did a really good job. Like honestly, she's so fun. Like I saw a TikTok, there's a TikTok of her that I saw recently. That was what put me on because I think she was performing it live, and like the guy was just like beating the guitar like a drum and like playing along, and it sounded like a bounce beat, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
When you say she's so fun, are you talking about Beyonce?
No, Des Montana.
Okay, I don't think you mentioned her. That's what I was like, wait.
She's the one that did the Essence remix, the Essence bounce remix.
Okay, so that's why, because I mentioned Essence. Because I didn't see her, so I was like, let's see who she is. What are you about to say? This song let's talk about is making me, or bringing up Beyonce is making me think about that her homecoming performance at Coachella, where she did a transition from Killing Me Softly to it has trumpets. I hate that I can't remember this. Even me, I need to do my Beyonce homework. But as for another dish, I will get into that. When they were talking about how, obviously descended from enslaved people, and it's not a direct kiddie, but there's a link. Could you think about anything that related to the music you grew up listening to in Nigeria, or music that you know now from Nigeria?
I don't see the African link. I see the what I see is the jazz, like the drums, like I see the jazz and like jazz band influence, like the brass band, sorry, like the band, like the New Orleans band influence. That one I see.
Yeah.
Heavy. Like I really
I
love
was
that.
I was hearing a lot of brass instruments in the first few songs. That it wasn't, who's the person you mentioned? Massey. Not Master P. The other one with the M.
Manny Fresh.
Manny Fresh. So there was Manny Fresh, and then there was a DJ that was dropping songs, and it was before Juvenile.
Jubilee.
DJ Jubilee. Is that his name?
Yeah.
So yeah, DJ Jubilee's music. There was one song that came up that had the horns, and I was like, I that link. So it now made me start thinking. I was like, I wonder if there've ever been times where I think it would be hard to do, but if you have like a HBCU marching band like playing, and then you now have like a bounce beat on that, it's like
this definitely exists.
I was about to say, like, because it's too easy to just put together.
Yeah.
How about, like,
I saw a video of JT rapping with like a live brass band behind her. It was okay, but like I would like some drums. But it was like I didn't mind.
It makes me think about like where, and it's been coming up a lot, where more and more I start seeing how marching bands at different universities do things, and obviously HBCUs, and how like they are so. I feel like first of all it was the Coachella performance, but even at the Super Bowl where they had Southern perform. I remember I watched a game here at the place I go to, and Southern came and they performed, and the marching band was like, it was so good, and I was like, this is a tiny tidbit of what happens when you as like an institution, society, community, whatever, like just like invested some of your people or people in your community like participating in the arts. I was like, can you imagine if like secondary schools back home had like a dedicated,
band? Because I hated that about White Sounds, because my first high school I went to Grace, and I was in the band for Grace. I'd be the junior band, one of them, because I used to play saxophone. I mean, I can still play. Honestly, I can't wait to go back to Lagos, because I need to start playing that thing again, man. I'll start doing sessions, so I'll start doing sax sample sessions. But yeah, like I wish Nigerian schools did that more, like playing instruments as a group, because that would be an insane avenue for like scholarships as well. Because I mean, it seems everybody's channeling guys to go to Japa anyways. So why not add music to it? Because music, there's I don't know, there's no money in music, but like there's scholarship.
Yeah, and I feel like there's the money. I feel like people complain about that thing a lot, where it's like, oh, there's no money in this, money in that. When you invest in building an ecosystem for it, money will flow. Like you can say there's no money for music, but it's like if an institution like the NFL is having the Southern marching band perform for like such a huge crowd, that's because like you've given them the space to flourish and grow their skills, and it's like, oh, okay, like we can actually present this to the world. And that I actually wanted to say that, they talked about the burial processions they would do, and that's where like the second line would perform, and some of the songs that they used reminded me of Riot on Earl's album, and that was interesting to me because when I heard Riots first time I heard Riots, I thought about like burials back home. But I think my grandpa died around that time, and I was thinking about like when you just hear trumpets now when you're carrying the coffin to the church. Okay. And so seeing that was a link that I was like, oh damn. I think if we dig a little bit, like we'll see things. We'll see things.
Yeah, definitely, like definitely with the instruments, like even twerking. So like twerking wasn't something that was invented with bounce in terms of the dancing. Like obviously we had that in like West Africa before. I don't remember, there was a name they used for it, Mapuka or something like that. I might be wrong. Is that the name of the dance or the music? Because I think there's like a subgenre of music from maybe Congo, like Charles, francophone speaking African countries. Because I was listening to some of the beats, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm seeing the similarities in like how this works. But that was something that was really interesting to me. Like the first time someone actually said twerk and people were twerking, like the word was like a bounce thing. Like I think
Yeah.
they just took work and I don't know. I think it was a thing that DJ Jubilee did as well.
Mapuka is a traditional dance from the Ivory Coast, particularly
Yeah.
associated with the southern region, and it's the dance also known as the dance of the buttocks.
Yeah. Yeah. How do I say Congo?
And cause Congo is where, like the videos on TikTok you see where it's like those men that will put a bottle of beer on their belts and just start like twerking.
Yeah.
And they keep it like streets. I think all places in, and I think let me not. It's not even a bad thing. Like Igbo, like when I see like Igbo men dance, I feel like they're the control, the mastery, the mastery they have of their waist and buttocks, unlike anything I've seen in the other tribes.
Okay.
So yeah, I think different sections of West Africa definitely have their own interpretations and cultures and dancing with the buttocks.
Yeah. I think before we close out the bounce section, I also want to mention that like the fact that bounce is so like vulgar and explicit is also something that I love about this genre, because you don't really get to, I don't know, you don't see that anywhere else. And like coming from like someone who was primarily like an East Coast hip hop fan, like like most of the rap I even till today like listen to is like, it's like I think like 90% of the rappers I listen to are from New York. And like when I first started listening to rap, it was like old school stuff like Biggie. And then I go into MF Doom and like he would talk about how like he had lots of disdain for like southern rappers and like newer rappers in like the early 2000s and late 90s, and how like they would just talk about silly things and like dance. And even like there's an Aries Spears skit that I think like captures that extremely well. It was almost as if like him and Doom worked on the skits at the same time, because like this is a repeating pattern across Doom's music, like across the different alter egos, where he's like shitting on southern rap. And like in the video, Spears is he's like half naked at a pool, and he's just like he's just rapping like rah 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 rah, and he has like 3 giant chains, and he's just saying rubbish, and like he's like riding a tiny bicycle or something, and he has like a lot of girls with like in like bikinis, and I'm like, I don't know, like I get why somebody would like not think this music is particularly progressive, or like progressive not in like the political way, but like in terms of like
consciousness.
Yeah, but I don't know, I think it's fine to just dance and enjoy yourself sometimes. Like I don't know, it's like Nax is something that we all do. Like okay, wait, I'm going somewhere. And like I also think it's low-key hypocrisy, because if you really think about it, like these NYC guys used to talk about some nasty shit. Like Biggie always talk about some disgusting things. Biggie as well. Jay-Z as well.
Biggie, yeah.
Bro, Doom has a song called Cookies. And this song is basically about wanking. Like that's basically what the whole song is about. And I'm just like, you don't get to do this. And then I mean, like obviously his song is like extremely creative. Like you have to really listen to realize that, oh, like this guy's, this song is not about cookies at all. Like he's just talking about some silly things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, do you get to do this and then shit on people that are like just saying how it is?
Just because they don't have complex rhyme schemes? Shame on you, Dumile.
But yeah. Shout out to all the bounce artists, man. Like the ones that are really doing it for me. I love C Finance. She had that, I found her on TikTok. She had that one song. The one that's like, come on, Michael. I think Michael is a producer, because it seems like I think he produced a song that Des Montana was on as well, and like some other. I mean, it's not super bad. I don't remember. She has an interesting name, but like he's like a popular bounce DJ or producer now. Super Bad is also really fun. Like honestly, she's always, and like bounce. I feel like bounce artists are always talking about like being with someone's man or something, but and like still having their own, and like your guy is always on, like your nigga is always on their side. Like it's just really fun.
And look, okay, low key. And then I guess a good way to close this out would just be just how we've seen that influence like kind of spread. So obviously in like Drake's music, we've seen all the different times he's like added like bounce to his stuff. And there's a song that was trending recently by Sturdy Youngin where they he sampled Trippin', I don't know what song that is. I don't know why.
Sing it.
He got me tripping, stumbling, falling in love.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know the name.
Exactly, like, and then that dangerous, that whole Emery, Cassie,
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there that were light skinned and making very nice music, and it's very easy to mix them up. But unless you're tapped in, obviously. Yeah. So seeing how and that sounds a lot like bounce, and then the song, the subject matter you just dealt with, where it's like a lot of women rapping about how like they can steal your man while also keeping their own man at home, like locked in and safe. It's like that sort of like and that sort of I won't say that sort of sexual liberation, where women are like taking ownership of their own preferences and how they choose to lead their lives in terms of their sexual relations. You're seeing that also with people like Dila, and that whole like Patience was also called Wicked Babe music, and it's like bounce has been on that, so a lot of influence. And artists always dabble. Like I saw Saucy Santana made a bounce song. You mentioned T.I. It's like Ashake now. It's like it's with every like passing month, every like bounce is just keeps on reaching newer ears, and like people are influenced and affected.
Yeah.
By it, so
honestly, I would love to see more Nigerian DJs like play bounce under like Afrobeats songs, not like Whiskey Buju type of songs, but like like the more energetic ones. Honestly, like I would love to see a bounce / like trenches music song. Honestly, I feel like that would be insane. Because when I thought I wanted to DJ, like I thought like, okay, this was going to be my theme. Like I'm going to be the one guy that's playing bounce on Afrobeats, and then SARS did this, and I'm like, I'm never going to buy a controller again because there's no point. But yeah,
I mean, there's always space. Like you do oblé with a bounce beat to sound crazy. I'm playing it in my head now. I'm like, can't taste. Nice.
it can work.
What was Jones getting to?
That sampling discourse. I don't know if I want to talk about that today, honestly. But actually buying music again. Because what made me think about this was this whole thing that Amazon just did, where you no longer basically don't own the books you've bought. If you don't have a Kindle device or like you're not online, you can't read your books anymore. And I'm just like, what? Imagine guys have been buying books since when Kindle first came out, and now all their books are locked on the cloud. And I'm just like, every time like I download music on Spotify, because I always have like all my liked songs downloaded on my phone, and then like a bunch of other albums and playlists, and I'm like, when you go to Spotify and go offline, it tells you you can't be offline for more than 29 days in a row. And I'm like, and it reminds me of it, I'm like, I don't own this music, like I really can't do whatever I want. Like if Spotify shuts down today, I have no record of all the music I love. Like there's only so much I can remember myself. And I'm like, wow, like maybe I actually have to start buying albums again. But I'm just like, maybe not albums, but like I'll buy the songs that I like. Or I don't know, or the album because I want to be able to access this thing anytime, anywhere. And
Definitely.
like know that is my music without some CEO vexing one day. Because imagine if it was the guy that was playing with his forks. Imagine if he was the guy that owns Spotify, and then he now vexes one day that somebody's too woke and now I can't have music again. I don't think that's fair at all.
I wonder if when you buy stuff on iTunes, like what that process, like, is it more permanent than say streaming something, in that like, if iTunes shuts down, do I still have access to my
Yeah, I think you do.
I'm not sure if Bandcamp does something similar where like if you buy it, actually I don't think so. You can listen to it on.
No, Bandcamp you buy and download.
Yeah, but then the download, you download it onto your. It's like Spotify, where it's like you can now listen offline. Because I bought an album that Kia dropped an album under her DJ Kaori Monica, and I remember buying the album and I downloaded it, but like it was I had to go to a very specific place to listen. I'll look into it again, sha. But yeah, physical. Because then on the physical media thing, I remember we talked about this when we were talking about doing like our tour wrapped, and how, you know, buying physical, we pitched for buying, you know, physical memorabilia, including like the physical art that our artists make. But then Gum made an interesting point about, like, you know, in doing that, sometimes it's like there's also like the arguments to consider in terms of like plastic use, and how much that is adding, because you know, you can't expect everybody that buys CDs to, you know, take care of it in the best way and, like, you know, store it. And it's like people go through cycles of like cleaning and throwing away and disposal and stuff. So digital, keeping things, having like digital libraries that you can keep offline is also something to, you know, pivot towards as well, aside from buying CDs. But just something to divest from corporate, the more
Bullying.
mainstream corporate ways of consuming things, sha. Like, because like to be like books, art, like it's a scary, the fact that like art and like people's intellectual properties are like slowly, it's not in the artist's hand, it's not in the creator's hand, it's not in the consumer's hand. It's just like
There's just that
that's a
middleman,
very
yeah.
scary. Yeah,
It's in the damn
and everyone's just
cloud.
holding everything. It's like that guy, like when you're playing football and there's one person that owns the ball and it's the guy you do not like everyone does not like that guy, he can just end the game. Guys, we better buy our own ball.
Yeah, like it makes me think of like when we're in Nige, you know, like let's say NEPA takes, like those times that NEPA wants to do their thing and there's no lights for like a week. And maybe it's during summer or something. It's like, what are you going to do, man? You can't watch.
Yeah.
Like, if it was right now, right, and all you had was like HBO Max or Netflix or something, and you didn't download something, like what do you actually do? Like obviously you can stream it with your data and all that, but like back then, we're not doing that because we don't have money for data like that.
Exactly.
And like, but like I had a ton of movies downloaded, or like CDs. You know, like another thing, like not having access to like ripping CDs anymore is such an interesting thing, because you know laptops don't come with CD slots anymore, so you can't just like buy yours a CD and like
load it up with what you want to.
Yeah, as easily, or like remove the music and put it on your laptop the same way before.
Yeah.
Like, now you have to buy an extra thing to put the CD in, which probably isn't even common anymore.
It's scary, and it's also making me see how like, you know, people always talk about how Nigeria is like a backwards country, but then there are some parts, there are reasons why they say that now. It's like you have, while here I was seeing how, you know, it feels like we've become so dependent on like government, and by extension, corporations, and by extension like our governments, to like provide like shit for us. But in Nigeria, like with the electricity situation that you brought up now, I'm seeing a lot of people that are like getting, and obviously this is very class based, but there are people that are just getting solar panels and basically going off the grid. So it's like, if you have somebody that has a generator and has a solar panel, how do you get them to invest in your energy system? And that's like a scary thing, where like a large part of why governments work is because people see the government as like the provider for a lot of their basic necessities. But in Nigeria, it's like very decent. Like it can be very easily decentralized, and the only reason why it's not more decentralized is because people are a lot of people are extremely poor, so
there's nowhere else to go.
Like have to, exactly, there's nowhere else to go. But if they were more resourced, then kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
for
like
them, not for us.
Analogy for that is like the way certain people keep cash. I don't know, I say certain people like that, but the way some people keep cash. Some people keep cash instead of like going to the bank, because like they don't want the bank to have their money. Like, why are you so? And why do you trust Spotify? Why do you trust these platforms so much with your, you know, your musical goods? Like, if they can just take it away from you, man. Like, I don't think that's fair.
This is my teen for hard take, where it's like, so because there's an increased emphasis on us, just enjoying things and focusing on the things that make us feel good. We're not really taking the time to critique. And, I feel like through honest interaction with art, that's what makes us attached to the art, and that's what makes us care about the preservation. I want to just focusing on not deeping things too much. That's why we have all these people that are just like, I'm just on Spotify, I just pay for my subscription and I have the music I listen to. And so, they're not forming the connections that we need for them to like, preserve the music ecosystem that, protects artists and protects us. Because we're not deeping things. So we have to go back to deeping things. And that's why when I was saying earlier, we should allow people critique, is because, you have to work that muscle of caring and figuring out why you care, because it bleeds into other aspects of life. That was episode 5, guys.
Yeah.
Listen to
delete your ex account. Thank you.
As in, listen to bounce music.
We'll have a bounce playlist. I mean, it probably come out before this video.
Episode playlist is coming. More episodes. Unique femme voices. Episode 5, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. Live. Love.
It's over. No, after that over. After that over is over, please. Love.